Just coming to you with a quick video today, just to kind of give you some help if you want to achieve some garden screening with using plants for height, whether it's getting rid of a garden shed, bike storage, garden fences, trying to block neighbours out, whatever the motivation with that one. I've got three plants for you today, all with a tropical look. So without further ado, let's get at it. Just to showcase the point that I was trying to make before we get started, there is a shed behind there, which I'll take you to in a second, and there's a storage container over there. So from the garden you can't see any of those two things. Number one is the storage area. Number two, right around here, it's quite a large area which hides that monstrosity. So just thought I'd prove that point, just show you that point very early on. But now with the right amount of screening, you can no longer see those. So first things first is this absolute beast behind me that's towering at the moment, 10 feet tall. That is the Miscanthus Giganteus. The name is absolutely apt with this plant. It is ginormous. This is the growth from a single season. So I cut this back in spring, right to the ground. And it's achieved that growth in a single season, which I think is absolutely amazing. The thing with this plant is it looks great through spring, summer, autumn and winter. It will change, the leaves will get, as you can see, potentially on the lower ones, they get like a burnt orange coloration to them. So the form will stay as it is, but it will take on those autumnal colours. So even throughout winter, when a lot of things die back, the form of that will still stay. And I actually really enjoy that. Plant all year round, both colours of that. And like I say, in spring you cut it right down to the ground, maybe leaving it about 10 centimetres, and it will shoot again. As you can see there, it's eaten quite a large section of a garden fence. If I put another couple there as well, that would completely block that out. So if you wanted to block a shed, or put it maybe a wrap around you in a pergola, so you can kind of feel a bit more cocooned within there. Like I said, to block out people's windows and things like that, that plant is absolutely ideal. Like I said, the average UK fence is normally around about 5 to 6 feet tall on average. This one's a larger fence, just because the way that the neighbour's property moves upwards as well. And that one is still a good foot taller than that. The interesting thing with this one as well is it's now being used for the fight against climate change as well. So it's being used by farmers to kind of create biomass, but with that as well, it's actually taking carbon out of the atmosphere. So it's actually a really great plant for both the environment as well as your garden. So there's the first one, the Miscanthus Giganteus. Right, the second up now is this one, the Pennisetum latifolia, which I had to learn the name again for this video. I always forget the name of this plant. It's absolutely beautiful. It reminds me of the Feathery palmifolia, which is like the palm grass. And this one's commonly known as fainting grass because of the way that the fronds will move on that. Inside, and I will put a cut over on the screen, inside it's like a chocolatey brown kind of like stems to it. It looks very similar to kind of bamboo as well. It's very, very kind of like woody stem. And both of these plants are actually, I think, an ideal option to get away from bamboo for people that are nervous with putting bamboo in the ground. I still love the bamboo, but like even Rich today or yesterday's put out a video on how far his bamboo has run, and the things are terrifying. If you put those things next to boundary fences, I've seen people that have took tens of thousands of pounds worth of damage to neighbours' properties and things like that. So although they are beautiful, I think sometimes the risk versus what you get from them, I don't think they pay off. The Miscanthus, I think, in my garden, I would take that over bamboo every single day. And this Pennisetum as well. This one would grow to around about 5 or 6 feet tall as a maximum. So you could even put the Miscanthus behind that and this at the front, creating a beautiful tropical jungle style section where you wouldn't be able to see the boundaries and things. Like behind me over there is a shed, and I've used those plants to get rid of that shed, so you can't see that from a garden whatsoever. This will die back to the ground, so this one is what they call root hardy. So it is not hardy as in the leaves, if they get frozen they're done. And this one did give me a scare earlier in the year because I have got 3 of these in the garden, and there was no signs of life for this at all, completely browned off all round the base. I was scratching at it for quite a little while to see if I could get any signs of life from it, and pretty much loads of people online had told me it was done. And the weekend just before I was about to dig it up, I saw the first green shoot, and they all kind of went out exactly at the same time. So if you do get these and you think they're dead, just leave them probably for about a month longer than what you're happy with, and the chances are these will shoot back. This took no winter protection whatsoever, because I thought they were fully hardy when I bought them, truth be told, with that one, so I didn't even know to try and do anything with it. And this one has absolutely sailed through, completely covered in snow and all the rest of it. So absolute beautiful form on this one. And again, another plant I don't think I'd be without. Both of these plants look fantastic when the wind's catching them. Adds a bit of movement and a bit of interest to the garden as well. And next up is my absolute colossal beast, the Musa basjoo. And this is the colossal beast, the Musa basjoo, as you can see from my height now. This thing now is probably, I'd say, rocking about 10 feet as well. I did try and do it with the measuring tape, but they got unstable after a while. But I got it to at least 10 foot before the thing collapsed. This, I think, probably couldn't get much more airtime. I think most people that are into tropical plants have probably heard Musa basjoo as one of the first things that they hear. But I just wanted to get it on film once more. This thing is done absolutely incredible. What I do every year is I cut these back to remove all of the leaves, wrap it in a horticultural fleece and put a rotary line cover over the top of it, and then it will achieve that level of growth in one season. If you don't protect them, that's absolutely fine. They will die to the floor. I've never experienced that, so I don't know if they'll get to the full height if they run from the ground, or if they'll get to more like 6 to 8 feet tall. I would wrap mine every single year for the sake of 3 or 4 minutes per plant. It's absolutely worth that. And then, like I say, in spring, you just unwrap them and then off they go. This thing has absolutely flown this year. The leaves span on that are 2 meters now, so these are the biggest I've ever seen. And to be honest, I thought this might flower this year, but thank God it hasn't. They can get to apparently 5 meters tall in the proper climate. Like I say, I don't think that's probably going to get much bigger than that. I wouldn't have thought, but there's always next year, so I'll give it a go next year and see what's what. Although that's not going to necessarily hide the fence with the other 2 examples. If you had the Miscanthus behind that, one of the Pennisetum there, and then that over the top, there's an extension over in the corner over there, which from certain angles in the garden you can no longer see. Not trying to block out their extension, but I'm saying if you wanted to block out different people's windows and things like that, mainly because it's as awkward for them as it is for you when the people look out in the window and can see you in your garden. So you can use things that used to block out a bit more things at height. But say if you use those 3 things in succession, which to be honest I might take my own advice, and there's one of the Pennisetums next to it, put a bit more of those in there and we'll lose that fence as well. So hopefully I'll put maybe 2 plants on your radar as good alternatives for bamboo. They're quite exciting plants, and also they're not that common. I've not seen them in anybody else's garden. I'm sure the tropical heads on the channel have probably seen them before, but it's things like when my mates come round and family members, they're always blown away with the big things and things that you can achieve, what feels like godly growth on them. And the more interesting for like things if you're trying to get kids into gardening as well. Kids don't want to wait 5-10 years for a plant to grow. So things like this banana and the Miscanthus, where you almost feel like you can see them growing, I think are a bit more kind of exciting to get people involved in as well. If you've liked any of the content from today, I'm going to try and bring out another set of series on ground cover, mid-range plants, filler plants, just the types of things that I was looking for when I was starting my garden. It's a minefield online with so much information and so many different plants that you can choose from. So hopefully I can cut a little bit through the fat and kind of show you, if you liked anything in my garden, what I've done to achieve it as well. I want a quest to get to 1,000 subscribers, so if you are interested, don't forget to click subscribe as well. And thank you very much for watching.